All right, everybody. So, congratulations, Edmond. Edmond passed PMP exam in around 20 days. So, Edmond completed my course around 28th or 27th of Jan 2024. And he sent me his photograph with PMP certificate on 20th or 21st. Edmond, once again, congratulations. I'm so happy for your success. So, we will all love to listen to your journey, your preparation strategy. So, let's start with brief introduction of yourself, your work, where are you from, and then we will be talking about exam.
Okay. So my name is Edmond, like you know already. Um, I studied in Malaysia. I did my BSc in software engineering. That's a BSc software engineering, University of East London campus in Malaysia. And I did a postgraduate diploma in University of Nottingham campus in Malaysia. That's in computer science and entrepreneurship. One of the courses that we taught there was project management, and that's why I took a liking to the course. It was quite difficult for me at the time, but over the years, my dad would say, take yourself to a course where in every organization they need that field. So I wanted to do something that I know that in every field you need a project manager. So that's what brought my liking to project management. So over the years, I've done project management in software development, and also right now I'm doing project management on construction. Yeah, part of the things we're doing, my company's name is Minka Estates. So part of the things that we're doing is we're building houses, but we're also building home automation systems for those houses. So I'm a project manager on the construction aspect, and also a project manager on the development of the home automation systems for the houses as well. And for my preparation strategy, I know you said like I passed the exam in 20 days, but I've had like, how should I put it, almost 2 years now of studying and not being bold enough to take the exams over and over again. So I took 2 weeks off work. So immediately after the
Okay.
training, I was away from work the entire time till the day I wrote the exam. So it was back to back mock tests, studying. I used your notes that we took in the class. So I used that as a guide, just train myself, and also took a lot of mock tests and did some studying on my own because Certificate Ed provided us with some notebooks. I don't have them here. I would have been able to show you, but they provided us with a photocopy of some notes that we can use to train for the exam, and I used that over the time. So the mock I was getting like an average of 50, 60, 65, sometimes 70. So, and in the training, you said like we should not expect to get all the answers right. But, when
Yeah.
you get like an average of 60, 65, 70, you're in a good way.
Yeah.
So after I did the test over and over again, getting that score, I said, okay, let me just take a shot at it and see. Because I knew that if I had waited a little bit longer, I wouldn't have taken the test again. So I just said, let me try. I'm not really a good test taker. I can explain, I'm good practically, but taking tests is not really my strong suit. So that's why I decided to go like the intensive route and
That's
take the
great.
test.
That's great.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about the content that we covered during the trainings, during 4 days long intensive training? Do you think that is sufficient to cover the overall course content for the course?
Yes, I think it's sufficient enough. Um, I feel like the time given cannot totally cover everything. However, it's supposed to give you a bedrock on what you can go and practice with, and also further your studying on. Because if I think like if I were to take only your training, it would I might pass, but I won't be so confident in in the test because you still need to go some intensive training because from what I understood from what I could notice from the exams, what you see is most of the questions are related to in-person activities in the sense that they'll say, what would the project manager do? What would the project manager do? You see that repeating itself over and over again. So
Yeah.
you understand that you have to put yourself in that scenario. So first off, because of my experience in already in the field experience, that helped me a lot because I could have an idea on what to do. But because when I was in the field, I was doing a couple of things wrong because I had not, gone through your training or even gone through any training per se. But now I feel like it has been able to guide me towards the right direction on what I should be doing, how I can take better decisions on how to manage my projects, and be able to, uh, give better advice to the project sponsors, as the case may be.
Wonderful. Amazing. And would you like to talk about the distribution of exam? Like there are three domains: people, process, and business. Can you tell me which area was dominant in the exam in terms of number of questions? Like, did you
Uh,
see more question from people domain, or were they equally distributed?
Yeah, to me, I can't really remember if I can say that, but I feel like they were equally distributed. It's not, you know, I can't say that I took note of this, because at
Okay.
the time, the only thing that was on my mind is, can I keep up with the time? Can I keep up with time? Then another thing was, I was panicking. Like I said, I'm not really a good tester, so I was panicking. So even when I was giving the breaks, I would go and come back before it's 10 minutes, and I just want to go back into the exam because I feel like I don't want to lose my train of thought. I want to be focused. So what I did on that day was even lock myself out from everyone. I locked myself in the house and made sure like nobody could come in, just so that I don't have any communication with anybody to distract me. But I can say they were equally distributed, but I can't really say per se because I can't. There are quite a number of questions, but because
All
of
right.
the practice, I was a little bit more prepared for that.
All right. And if I ask you a question regarding number of question regarding waterfall, number of question regarding agile. So
Yeah,
most of students, they are reporting that exam is more inclined towards
agile.
agile
Yes, they're
methodology.
more
So
inclined towards agile methodology. You can
okay,
say about 60%
yeah,
agile questions. Yeah,
60% agile
yeah, about
question.
65% agile questions.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So yes, this is what students are reporting. Most of the exam questions are relevant to agile and people domain from
Yes.
that domain side or the exam content
Yeah.
outline side.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, what about time management? How did you manage your time?
Okay.
Exam was in three sections, so how did you manage your time?
Okay. So what I was doing is I had the review. So what I would do is uh, right from time when I was being trained hard, taking multiple choice exams. What you usually told is you do the elimination method. Whenever
Yeah.
you do your elimination method and you realize that okay, I can't really tell this is the answer. So sometimes your train of thought is just out of place. What you do is skip the question, then you come back to it. So when you're doing your review, you review and you'll be able to see where your questions are, what questions you haven't answered. So you just use no answer, so you can click, go back to it, and you can spend more time on it. In that case, you are not under pressure because you skipped the questions that you couldn't answer. I had that in I think two of the sections. I think the second section and third section. I skipped a couple of questions, then came back, to answer them.
All right.
Yes.
And did you have any question regarding calculations?
Mm, no.
Okay.
I don't think I had any question regarding calculations. No. No, I didn't do that.
Okay. All right. What advice you want to give to PMP aspirants to prepare for the exam like you in 20 days, 30 days?
Uh,
What pieces of advice you want to give?
okay, my advice would be, you know, in the field experience, because for me, I could put myself in that position because I had gone through the experience. Sometimes when I wanted to take this test, I felt like, okay, I was already doing the work as a project manager to a great extent. I didn't have the title, but I was doing most of the work as a project manager. So I was managing projects, but not in that capacity. But because I was shadowing someone who was already a project manager, I was, learning a couple of things. So when I was doing the course, I could relate to it. So when you say things in the class, sometimes I go ahead and try to complete it. And I'm like, oh, yes, because I have gone through this process, it was easy for me to put myself in that position and understand. So even when I'm practicing, it's not that I'm practicing to write the exam. I'm practicing because I feel like, okay, I'm going to use this. So I need to know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not just knowing the right answer. I want to also know why this is the right answer. So I feel like rather than studying to pass the exam, try and study to use it in your everyday life, and it would really help you. It will really help
All
you.
right, great. Along with my mock exam, you said you got around 65, 70% marks.
Yeah.
Uh, did you read any book for the exam?
Yeah, I started using Rita McCauley's book.
All right. And you also mentioned you used my notes. How helpful were those notes?
Yeah, for the rules were really helpful because I feel like they were the bedrock of everything for me. So I started with your notes. I went through it over and over again. There are some places that I couldn't remember what we're talking about. So what I would do is I would pick out those sections, then go back, to books, go online, try to check, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? Try to get the understanding. So it was the bedrock for the entire exam for me because that's what I started with. And because you were there, I could, and it was immediately after the training that I started preparing for the exam. So it was easier for me to use that because I could just hear your voice and say, okay, this is what you were trying to explain at this point in time. This is what you were doing. And you know, the notes were really nice because they're so colorful. So you could, if you close your eyes, you can picture,
Yeah,
what was written down. So at some
yeah,
point, I was
absolutely.
like, okay, this is what he was trying to explain in class. So it really helped out. It really, really did.
Absolutely. Yes, these are great for visual learners,
Okay.
especially those who like to see things rather than just
Yes,
just
rather than
listen.
listen. Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Great. Were you confident during the exam, like you will be passing the exam?
Yes, I was. At first, the first few questions were quite tricky.
Okay.
I feel like it was because I was panicking. So, like, I think the first 4, 5 questions, I was panicking. Then by the time I hit the 10th question, I was like, okay, relax, relax, relax. Then I got into my stride. At some point, I was like, okay, this is good, this is good. I know what I'm doing. Then I think in the last section, I was a little bit slower, but I feel like that was because of fatigue you know, because the night before I was studying all through, just going through my notes, everything. So I didn't really sleep as much. I tried to go to bed, but I woke up like 3 times. So I just said, let me go back and study. But it was, I was really confident. At some point, I was confident. I can say that.
And did you take the exam at PMI Pearson Center or at home online exam?
Yeah, as an online exam center.
Okay, online exam. And it
Yes.
was smooth. Did you have a very smooth experience with online
Yeah.
exam or any trouble?
Yes. Yeah, I had a smooth experience because uh, I I got a new device for everything. Like the internet setup was all tested. I set up, I used Starlink. So I set up everything in the house. I made sure like everything tested over and over again days before the exam, just to make sure that I didn't have like outage or anything like internet outage. So it was quite good. I didn't have any experiences. I think there was just at one point the the rector said my video went off for like then messaged me immediately that everything has been fixed. So that was the
Okay.
only glitch that I had. It was
And
okay.
when did you get your result after the exam? How much
Uh,
time did it take?
yeah, it was less than 48 hours. I think I did it I think maybe about 30 hours or thereabout.
30 hours. Okay,
Yeah,
right. Because
before
in
40
online
hours.
exam, they say we have recorded your responses and we will let
Mm-hmm.
you know
It will
in
let you
five
know.
business days.
Yes, 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 yes.
All
So,
right.
so I was waiting for that. Then I think 30 hours. I was actually in a meeting. Then I got the email that the result was there. So I clicked and I saw congratulations. I was so happy. Then I logged into the PMI and saw the certificate. So I clicked and saw everything. Then I was sharing with people I was in the meeting on that. Well, like my result just came out because everybody knew I was writing the exam. I knew that if I didn't tell people I was going to write it, I would have just not written it again. Because I've said I'll write it before, but I never followed through. But this time around, I was like, I need to do that. And I was trying to migrate to Canada. So I was just trying to put myself in an advantageous position to be able to, get better jobs over there. So that's one of the reasons I really took it seriously.
Wonderful. Amand, you are an inspiration. You're the second student who passed exam less than or around 20 days since I have been teaching. So normally people pass exam in around 30 days. And I also recommend 30 days is the ideal time. But you have done a great job, like 20 days. And this is, you know, probably nothing could be more efficient than this. You have utilized the time and the strategy that you have used, that's really impressive. Like you took couple of weeks off from work. That's
Yes.
really, effective. I have seen a couple of students before you, they have taken 1 week off from the work, and that really helped them. So most of the students, they study during the last week and they cover each and everything. They solve my mock exams, and uh, they pass the exam, and they have reported that the last week effort or hard work that really paid off. So
Yes.
that's great.
That
And when
intensive session is great. I really have to, the intensive session is great because for me, it was 2 weeks and it was intensive. I made sure every day that's all I did. I was off work and made sure that it was something I was doing over and over again. It can be really tiring because it's like you're doing the same thing. But when you have a goal, you can just set it up and say, okay, this is really what I want to do. And if it's really important to you, I feel like you can achieve it.
Absolutely. This is the simple strategy I used to tell to all of my students. Like, take the training, be attentive during the training. After the training, read any one of the books. I recommend PMP Exam Prep by Rita Mulcahy. So if you read that, that book covers 100% of the exam content. Even if you don't want to read the book, you can just use my notes. My notes, they cover 100% of the exam content. And then solve mock exams. If you get more than 70%, around 70% marks in the mock exams, then just you're good to go. Just schedule your exam and write it, and you will be passing the exam. So, yes, the same strategy you followed, same strategy my other students follow, and everybody's passing the exam. So, it's really good to know like these tricks and tips are really working. And of course, the purpose of this session is to, share inspiration with others so that they also write their exam and they pass and they move on in their career.
All
Aman,
right.
thank you so much for your time. I'm
Thank you
really
very much,
happy for your
Amal.
success. Once
Thank
again,
you very much.
congratulations.
Thank you
We'll
very
be in
much.
touch. We'll be in touch, and I wish you good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Take good care of yourself. Bye.
Uh, Bye.